to go look in the info controller, which is right here. Find that randomizer under maintenance block. Right, okay, so it's right here. This is the block, the method called randomizer under maintenance. And we build up our content that we spit out to the view file with this variable. And what do we stuff in there? This div, which is, we apologize for the inconvenience, and we're sorry, blah, blah, blah. And then here I just spit out any segments after the controller and method, which is why this code appears here, and the rest you can see. So it worked. That's this code right here. See, we're loading the info controller because of this part of rerouting. So I hope you got the idea from that example that you really are in control of your URLs. You can rearrange the pieces all you want. You even swap out wildcards, in place of the whole pieces. When I say pieces, I mean URL segments, or replacing just parts of URL segments. Now let's do a slightly more complex example. And this is all in these notes here, so don't worry if you can't follow this video. But I've got a complex example with a more wild-looking URL like that. Just imagine if you need this for some reason. And let's go ahead and first of all, let's just turn off these things completely for the moment. We'll turn this one off. All right, so now we have no custom routing rules that we would expect to be using. No one's going to type z info. We don't have any links going there, so why would they even think of it? You can even just delete these or comment them out if you're nervous. And then when we go to food, recipes, random meal, we get the content as normal. But let's say we've got a real complex example. Let's say we have an URL that looks more like, selecting this sample from food onward, like that. And where does it go? It goes, at the moment, it goes to the food controller, the menu method, and then that's it. It doesn't know what to do because there's no controller method. There's no block in there that knows to look for this URL segment and equaling random salt. I just made up some crazy stuff. And so it just loads a default block, which is this menu. Which one do you want to see? Do you want to see a meal at random or a meal suitable for the occasion, the season? That's because of this being nonsense. It could just as well be ZZZ, QQQ, and it'll load the same thing. I just have it set up that way. All right. But let's say that you do want to detect a wild URL like that. And this could be, a shopping cart page slash some product number, slash some product options, small, medium, large, color pink, whatever. All right. And we're going to turn on this more complex URL routing rule, which looks for food followed by anything alphanumeric, followed by the word random. But in that same URL segment, after the word random, is any alphanumeric characters, followed by slash, and then any characters, followed by slash, any characters that are in the range of lowercase a to z, followed by slash, anything that's not a dot, followed by .html. All right, and this wild URL does match that, I think. And this is turned on, so let's test that. What happens? Where do we go? Oh, I have to upload this. Right? So now it's live, and this is live remote website. Boom, it works. It got rerouted from the default, when you go to menu, there's the default links that say, what do you want to do? What do you want to see? But it's not loading that anymore. It's loading a specific block. It's loading this randomizer is down block, which I just showed you earlier in this demo video. And that's because this custom URL routing rule kicked in, because it did match this pattern. And here's the equal sign. So on this, onto the right of the equal sign is where the URL got rerouted to. It got rerouted to the info controller, the randomizer under maintenance method, which is what displays this HTML right there. We already saw that. We know that's the case. Followed by /3, which means the third subpattern matched by my grep. Grep subpatterns are these things in parentheses. So there's the first one. The second one's what came after the word random. The third one was in the next segment. So we had food, and then menu corresponds to that one, and then the word random, which you see there. And then after random, we've got underscore, salt, underscore, and then the slash. So this part corresponds to underscore, salt, underscore, okay, slash, and then here's our third one. So this is the second subpattern, okay, that's going to be /2 in our, destination URL segments, and then the third one is after the random whatever, which means the word and, okay? So we're sticking the word and because it's found in the URL right there, and this routing rule captures it right there, and it says to stick it right there, which is after randomizer under maintenance, info randomizer maintenance /and. Yep, and there it is. See, controller param1. These controller param variables are whatever comes after your controller and your method. So that's why this code is here. It worked. And then after the third one is the fourth subpattern that was matched, which is right here, which means anything from A to Z after the and, which is the word more. That's why more is right there. The value of that variable. Controller param2. Then we've got lovely, we just hard-coded the string lovely underscore, and then the fifth subpattern that was matched, which is what came after more, which is the next piece, which is right here. The letter 2, ST4, UFF6. It's the word stuff with 246 interspersed amongst it, just to demonstrate, that this grep captures all of that easily. And it's that, whatever that captures, that subpattern is, it sticks it after the word lovely underscore. There it is. See? That this whole variable's value, therefore, is all of this. As if that had been typed into the URL in the third URL segment after the controller and the parameter. I realize this is a little hard to follow, but just be pleased that you have the power to do whatever you darn well please in these URLs. If you get nothing more than that point out of this, then you got the point. And just by playing with it, you'll get used to it and you'll get good at making it do exactly what you want. All right, and just for fun, let's see what this fourth one came from. It came from the fourth parameter. See, here's the controller, the method, and then the rest of these segments are the control parameters. 1, 2, 3. Okay, the fourth one is underscore table, except the E is changed to a 3, underscore TEBL3, and then the second matching piece, second matching subparameter. Here we go. Table, TEBL3, and then the second one, you remember, was the word underscore salt underscore, and there it is, because it was captured in the third segment right here. Remember, after random came something, and that was the second subpattern in the parentheses, so that gets stuck right here. And then cloth, but with the O changed to an O. So that's why it's here, salt and then cloth. So it's pretty complex. It just shows you have total flexibility. And the last URL segment that's spit out in the destination URL is the first subpattern that was matched, which was the first set of parentheses in this matching URL, which was the segment after food, which is normally the method menu, and that's why menu's right there. So you got the point. All right, I hope this was helpful. And just to make the point again, that you can set up as many of these custom routing rules as you want. You can just have, listed all day here. I mean, there's going to be a limitation in RAM eventually, but I'm sure you can get away with quite a few. But you're going to probably want to stick to ones that make your life easier. So just stick to the real specialized cases, or else ones that funnel, whole broad spectrums of your traffic, whole categories of your traffic into specific controllers. Like you might want all of, every time somebody comes to something that's has the word food in it, then they should all go to the same controller, whether or not the URL segment is literally just food, or hot food, or cold food, or foodstuffs, or food at the beginning of the string, or at the end of the string, or in the middle of the string, or whatever. Anything with food, you want it to go to one particular controller. You could set up an URL router for that, or whatever you want. Anytime you need some dynamism, some variables in your URLs, and you need total control, then this is what you're going to want to do. Set up these, as many as you want down here, these rules. Okay, and bear in mind that ones that are defined later, they're going to be the ones that kick in. So if you've got conflicting URLs, whereas more than one URL can match, more than one rule can match the URL that was typed in the browser URL field, then whichever one appears last in this list is going to be the one that fires. So I hope all this has been helpful.